topic population theories. In this class, I am going to discuss about some of the important population theories. The first, I am going to talk about Malthusian theories. Then I am going to talk about demographic transition theory. Finally, I am going to tell about on optimum population theory. Generally, population theories are try to explain how the population will grow or what are the factors which are responsible for the population growth, or it may be discuss about the population growth. First, we will discuss about the Malthusian theory. The Malthusian theory was discovered by Malthus. He is the first person to find out the relationship between food production and population production. This theory is the landmark in the history of population studies. This is the most famous theory during that period. The publishing year of this book, that is 1798, is considered as the base year. Based upon that, all the theories are classified. So that much importance this theory has. Based upon that base year, all the theories are classified into 4 groups. One is pre-Malthusian theory, second is Malthusian theories, third is neo-Malthusian theories, finally the fourth one is anti-Malthusian theories. Before Malthus, all the persons, those who are all interested in the demography, or try to give their views or themes. They did not formulate any theories on population. They are giving only their views on population. His essay on population was published in 7 editions. The first edition was published in the year of 1798. The last edition was published in the year of 1872. That time he was no more. So totally he published 7 editions. In the first edition, he given much importance on Condorcet and Godwin views. Actually, in the first edition, he tried to contradict the views of Condorcet and Godwin. What actually they said? According to Condorcet, all the inequalities in the world would be disappear. That means all the inequalities of wealth, all the inequalities of sex, education, everything would disappear. And also he said all the disease would be no more in the future. And also he said there is no enmities between the race and nation. It would be eradicated. And also he said the standard of living would be improved. And also he said there is no disease in the world. In addition to that, he said he himself raised one question, that is whether the food production is sufficient to satisfy the needs of the people. It could not be answered. For that he explained this question is a routine one for a long period. And also he said men themselves come forward to stop their birth when they got innovation. So these are the views given by Condorcet. He totally disagree all these views. And also Dr. Godwin, the other person, he also said some of the views on the population. That is, the scientific progress will happen and this will definitely make a perfect society. In that perfect society, there is no war, there is no crime, there is no disease. And also he said this scientific progress will not lead to overpopulation. So Malthus totally disagree all the views of both Condorcet as well as Godwin, because he never believed the scientific progress. So he totally disagree about their views. And also he mentioned 2 postulates in his first edition. That is, the first one is the food is necessary for man. The second one is the space between the sexes is necessary as well as it remain constant or it remain in the state. Second one is the space between the sexes. It is necessary and also it remain. And also further he goes on argue and said the power of population production is definitely greater than the power to produce subsistence, that is the food. And also he mentioned about the law of diminishing return that is operating in the agriculture. So these are the 4 important postulates given by the Malthus. And also he further added that if you are not control the population, definitely the population will double in 25 years. But the means of subsistence, that is the food production, no, it is only the equal proportion. So this is the postulates given by Malthus. Later, during the late 18th century and the beginning of 19th century, in England there are a lot of up and downs. There was a heavy fall in the food production. The prices were rises up. There is a lot of diseases, and then the poverty is existed. Unemployment problem were seen. Class conflicts were happened. So Malthus very much interested why all these are happened. What is the reason behind it? That time he found out there is a relationship between the food production and the population growth. He come to a conclusion that the food production and the population production, there is a relationship. This relationship is the main cause for all these kind of miseries and also the non-developmental nature. Based upon this observation, Malthus once again refined his postulates in the following ways. 1. Population is necessarily limited by the means of subsistence. 2. Population invariably increases where the means of subsistence increases, unless prevented by some powerful and obvious checks. And finally, he mentioned these checks and the checks which repress the superior power of population and keep it on a level with the means of subsistence are all resolvable into moral restraint, vice and misery. According to Malthus, the availability of food is determined by the size of the population. He found that the population increases where the means of subsistence increases. Under this circumstance, he come to a conclusion, if we are not check the population, definitely the population will double in 25 years. That means the population will increase in geometric ratio, whereas the subsistence, that is the food production, it will grow at an equal level, that is arithmetic ratio. That is, the population increases 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64 like that, whereas the food production increases 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It means after 150 years, the population will 64 times double, whereas the food production, it will increase 7 times only. So this is the relationship he found out. For that, he suggested 2 powerful checks through which only we can stop the birth as well as to increase the death rate. This is the thing he given through the powerful checks. What are the powerful checks? According to Malthus, he categorized 2 ways. One is positive check, another one is preventive checks. Preventive checks means to prevent the birth. As per Malthus, he suggested the celibacy. Through celibacy, that is avoid the marriage, that is the one thing, that is a moral restraint. And also he advised the postponement of marriage, that is getting the marriage life in the latter part. These are the 2 ways through which we can prevent the birth, that is the one thing. The other thing is vice. What is means by vice? Vice means a short intercourse. Actually, he encouraged the extramarital life. Otherwise, we can say he encouraged the prostitution, through which we can stop the birth. These are the 2 ways through which we can stop the birth. Why he believed all these things? He totally against the birth control methods. He never encouraged the contraceptions. So he advised the vice as well as the moral restraint. Okay, what about that next checks? That is positive checks. Positive checks means here it is according to Malthus, it is brought out by two ways. One is by man-made, another one is by nature. The nature means drought, famine, common disease, epidemic, plague. All these are made by the nature, through which we can encourage the death. The second one is made by man, that is unwholesome occupation, bad nourishment of children, insufficient of food, war, all the things. So, according to that Malthus, these are the way through which we can control the population increases. To the conclusion, what Malthus said, according to Malthus, the food is increases equal proportion, whereas the population is increases double in once in 25 years. This is a thing given by Malthus, and also he suggested how to control the population. For that, he suggested two things. One is the positive check, another one is the preventive checks. This is the thing given by Malthus. Now we will see the criticism. What are the criticism given by various social scientists on the Malthus theory? First, the mathematical character of the theory is open to rejection. According to Malthus, he said that food production is in the arithmetic ratio and population production is the geometric ratio. There is no such a evidence throughout the country for this kind of relationship. That is the one thing. The second criticism is the theory neglects the influence of standard of living. Malthus never think about the standard of living because he never believed in the scientific progress. So once the standard of living rises, there is no doubt that definitely the people themselves come forward to get married in the later age, and also they wanted to reduce the family size. But he never think about the standard of living. That is the other weakness point in his theory. The third one is Malthus ignored the scientific discoveries and innovations. According to Malthus, he said the food production is going on by arithmetic ratio. That means it is in an equal proportion increasing over the 25 years. How it is believable? It is not at all believable because there are more scientific way through which we can achieve or we can get more production. The one best example is USA, even our India also a best example. We are giving the green revolution. So it is more possible even go beyond the diminishing return. That is the one thing. The other criticism is Malthus compared the population with food production alone. In his theory, he never think about any kind of production except the food production. There are a lot of production. Not only the agricultural production alone will fix the economic situation of a country. The industrial production, the total production, everything it includes. It is not alone the food production, but he think about only the food production. That is the other weakness point in his theory. The last one, every increase of population is harmful to the country. According to Malthus, every increase
is harmful. It is not believable because some countries which have the lower population, they need to increase the population. That time, definitely, that increasing population is a welcome measure or it's a positive one. But he never think about this kind of situation. He think about only every increases of population will harmful to the society. And also, he mentioned about some checks, particularly the self-restraint. There is a postponement of marriage or celibacy. How it is possible? Not possible. Because all the people, they cannot come forward to practice of the celibacies. That is one thing. And also he mentioned about the voice. It is also not advisable for a country because he not believed in the contraceptive method. That is why he but nowadays there are more contraceptive methods through which we can easily control. He never mentioned about these things. That is the last criticism about the Malthusian theory. The conclusion of Malthusian. Next we will discuss about the demographic transition theory. The demographic transition theory is the modern theory, otherwise we can call it the modern theory. Because unlike the other theories, it is based upon the actual experience, what happened in the Western countries. Based upon that, they have framed this theory. every country, that is the Western country, they process from old balance to new balance. That is a theory. What is the old balance and what is the new balance? The old balance means the high fertility as well as high mortality. So the net result is the stagnant. That is the population growth is stagnant. And the new balance. Here they mention about the same stagnant, but it is because of low birth rate as well as low death rate. So each country, that is the Western country, have experienced from this old balance to new balance. That is high both birth and death rate to low birth rate and death rate. In the both stage, the net result is population growth is stagnant. C.P. Blaker identified here 5 phases. What are the 5 phases? Why he identified the 5 phases? Each country, that is a Western country, has experienced from old balance to new balance. Once a country passes from old balance to new balance, that time it should crosses these 5 phases. What are the 5 phases given by C.P. Blaker? The first one is high stationary stage. The high stationary stage means in that period both birth rate as well as death rate is so high. So the population growth is stagnant. The second stage mentioned by C.P. Blaker was yearly stationary stage. In the yearly stationary stage, the birth rate is the same like that, whereas the death rate is started to decline. So there is no doubt the population will start to grow. The third stage is called as late expanding stage. In that stage, the birth rate also started to decline. The death rate, no, it is drastically declined. So the population growth is so high. The fourth stage is low stationary stage. In this stage, both the birth rate as well as death rate are less. Ultimately, the population growth is still standstill or stagnant. So the last stage is declining stage. That is the low mortality rate. The death rate is exceeding the birth. That is the last stage. So according to C.P. Blaker, every country should process from this old to new balance by these 5 stages only. This is given by C.P. Blaker. Later, Frank Mortisten is the person he given the explanation. So far, nobody is given the explanation for this kind of declining birth rate and death rate. He is the first person given the reason for the declining fertility rate and mortality rate. According to Mortisten, there is a rapid growth rate in the past 3 decades. What is the reason for that one? He interested to identify the reasons. That time, he found out the drastic mortality decline. What is the reason of mortality decline? Once again, he invested. That time, he found out that the modernization. Modernization is the very first cause for this kind of declining mortality rate. The modernization which involves the rise of standard of living, the rise of prices, advance in sanitation and medical knowledge. All these are the causes for this modernization. Once they get the modernization, definitely the mortality rate decline. So this is the reason given by Mortisten. So based upon the reasons as well as his findings, he classified all the countries in 3 categories. The category 1, the population in the stage of incipient decline. The second one is the population in the stage of transition. The third and final one is the population in the stage of high potential growth. The first category, population in the stage of incipient decline. It means the birth rate is below the replacement level. Death rate also already drastically come down. So the growth rate is almost stagnant. That is the one condition. The second category they mention about population in the stage of transition. In that category, the birth rate is still high, somewhat That is the condition in this category. The third category, that is the population stage of high potential growth. In this stage, the birth rate as well as death rate are so high, so the population growth is stagnant. So, according to notice 10, whatever the countries, all the countries should come into any one of these categories. That is the explanation given by notice 10. That is called as demographic transition theory. It also has the criticism. There are a lot of criticism against this theory. I am going to mention only two things here. The one is, they are mentioning about the sequence of stages. That is the first stage, second stage, third stage. There is no such evidence for all countries. For example, in Spain, the mortality still it is high, but the fertility rate is drastically declined. So there is no need for waiting for each and every stage. That is the one thing. That is, there is no need of this kind of sequence stages. Second one is, they mention about the birth rate is a byproduct of industrialization, urbanization, all the things. But it is not necessary. What they mention, if a country is economically developed, that is urbanized, definitely the birth rate will decline. It is not necessary. For example, most of the developing countries, you see, without being their economically developed nature, their fertility fall down. Why? Because of the successful implementation of the family planning program. So these are the two criticisms given by the social scientists. Finally, we are going to talk about the optimum population theory. This population theory appeared as a reaction to Malthusian theory. Actually, Malthus said every increases the population is harmful to the society. Malthus condemned every increases in his theory. But this optimum population theory, it is actually delivered by or formulated by economists. This optimum population theory appeared as a reaction to Malthusian theory. What Malthus said, according to Malthus, every increases in the population is harmful to the society. But this optimum population theory said it is not the case. It is not the case for all the circumstances. Sometime it needed the population growth. Sometime only they wanted to control the population. So, according to the optimum population theory, there are three categories. One is underpopulation, another one is overpopulation, third one is normal population or optimum population. Overpopulation means the country has higher population growth than the need. The underpopulation means it has only below their requirement. The optimum is the right population it has. These are the three categories according to the optimum population theory. Actually, this optimum population theory is formulated by Sydney. He is the first person to mutate the idea. Later, it was developed by Cannon. According to Cannon, he mentioned two assumptions. Before he going to explain the optimum population theory, he given two assumptions. The one is the proportion of working population to total population remain constant. Second one is, as the population increases, the natural resources, the capital stock, and the state of technology remain unchanged. These are the two assumptions given by Cannon. Based upon that, he given the explanation for optimum population theory. The optimum population theory explained what should be a size for a country through which we can get the maximum per capita income. That is a thing given by Cannon. In his theory, he described in that way. Once the population increases, the number of workers also increases. As a result, the average marginal productivity also rises. It touched definitely at one point the maximum level. At what point did it touch the maximum level? In that point, what is the population? That population is the right population or the optimum population for that country. So this is the theory given by Cannon. It means a population which gives a maximum per capita income to a country. That size is called the optimum size for that country. If that country has below that size now, that is called underpopulated. If that country has higher that population now, is called overpopulated. This is a theory given by Caron under the heading of optimum population theory. This optimum population theory also has the criticism. The assumption itself has the criticism. What assumption is given? There is no change when the population increases in the capital stock, in the natural resources, and the state of technology. It is not believable one. And also he said the working population will not change once the population increases. It is also not acceptable one. These are the basic criticism given by the social scientists. And also he mentioned about a particular size. That size is the right size for a country based upon that per capita income. But it is also not believable. How you are going to fix a size for a country is not at all possible. There is a basic criticism. There is basic weakness in his theory. Second, they think about only the economic development. They never think about the social dimension, political dimension. They think about only the economic dimension. That will not alone give the true picture of a country. So these are some of the criticism given by the social scientists on this optimum population theory. Now let us come to the conclusion about my lecture. What I have given so far? I have given so far three theories. The one is Malthusian theory. The second one is demographic transition theory. Finally, I talk about the optimum population theory. In the Malthusian theory, what he said, there is a relationship between food production and population production. Once we have not checked that population growth, definitely it will double in 25 years. Whereas the food production is in the same equal proportion. So for that he suggested two checks. That is, one is the preventive checks, another is the positive checks. This is the theory given by Malthus. The second one is the demographic transition theory. In the demographic transition theory, actually it is based upon that what actually happened in the Western countries. So it passes from old balance to new balance. That is the theory. For that time, it crosses the 5 stages according to C.P. Blaker. And the notice that the only person given the reason for this fluctuation in the fertility rate and the mortality rate. There is a changes in the fertility rate and mortality rate. The third and final theory is optimum population theory. In the optimum population theory, what they said certain size for a country. They said a certain size for a country. That size is given the maximum per capita